Hello guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it is that you are viewing this video. I am Lanetta Shea and this is Beautifying from the Inside Out. And today I want to talk to you about the angel of the constellation. Excuse my cat back there jumping around doing the most. My little baby. But anyway, I always want to put on makeup too before I get on camera, but have to keep in mind that I am the owner of a natural skincare business called Natural Skincare and Cosmetics. The link for my products is in my description, so you can check that out, the description of my channel. And yeah, I think it's important for me to be a product of the product, so when I do get on camera, I don't have on any makeup at all whatsoever, and I can show you just like my natural flawless skin. Isn't that right, Keely? Come here. Since you want to be in the, you want to say hi to the camera? You want to say hi to the people? What you doing, honey? What you doing? You alright? You good? For whatever reason, at nighttime she gets really playful. I don't know what that's about. I think it's just a cat thing, so whatever. This is my first time as an adult having a cat, and so yeah, since I'm single and stuff like that, yeah, me and my cat just be chilling. So moving along, you guys are gonna see her because she's just the best. So she's going to keep walking by. So please don't let her distract you from the message. But yes, again, I wanted to talk to you about the angel of the constellation, right? But I actually need to talk about two different angels. So the first angel I want to talk about is the angel Sariel. And Sariel in Hebrew and Arabic meaning would be God is my ruler. So in Enoch 20 verse 6, he is said to be one of the 7 holy angels who is set over the spirits who sin in the spirit. Now, this angel is also invoked or prayed to an extreme lot in the Coptic Orthodox churches. Understand that there is good and evil in all things, and that means angels too. So be very careful when you are just dabbling into low vibrational things, because unlike the fallen angels and unlike, you know, the deities and the things that can be of the universal spirits, they don't know. You just call upon them, and because you've conjured them up and invoked them, they literally just operate off of whatever contract you kind of set up with them or whatever promise you make, right? But when you call on Sariel or any of the chosen angels, the archangels, understand that they actually counteract whatever is sent out of a low vibration. So that's why it's important to understand, like, when you're praying, how to pray. You know, what are you praying for? Because I think people get confused and they don't understand that the spirits and the angels, they need permission. The ancestors, they need your permission for them to intervene in your situations. They just don't do it. They actually need your permission. So it's important for you to, you know certain things and just be aware what is going on around you, and be well-rounded in a lot of things and not just some things, because you may run into a space where you're like, why does this keep happening to me, you know, around this time? Or it seems like, you know, this time of year, this is always happening. Or why can't I get over this hump or this depression? Or Why every time, I'm getting a job or in a relationship, it doesn't seem to work out? Because you have to understand what is being sent out to you, if it is being sent out to you. So just be very mindful that when these angels are called upon, they with the drama. So like they are literally there to protect you. So when you call on them in the right manner and you give them permission to intervene in your situations, they surely will. So moving along, that brings me to the falling watcher angel, Sahariel, which is very different from Sariel, although their names are very similar. Now, this fallen angel can also be invoked as a deity, and its name means God of the moon. And in Enoch 8:1, it is said to have taught the humans about the constellation and the moon cycles according to the lunar moon. It also is the angel who led the people astray to Mount Hermon and then decided to leave the men to prey upon and lust upon the daughters of the men in that land. So, you got to know your stuff, the Bible, and things that have been taken from the Bible, because the book of Enoch is not really found in a lot of the Bibles nowadays. It is called the book that it is, known as the book that has been taken out of the Bible. And, that's a bit odd to me, but I can see why. But then on the flip side, I don't understand why. Because, again, it is important for you to know certain things and know how to protect yourself. And if you are just unaware and not enlightened, then, you have a hard time figuring out what is happening in your life and how to protect yourself against certain things that are coming at you to attack you. This angel is also mentioned briefly in a conflict of Adam and Eve, and also in the story of Jacob and the ladder in the Bible. So yeah, I wanted to talk to you guys about the moon cycles, because I really was not familiar with the moon cycles and things of that nature until my previous relationship and the passing of my youngest brother. So what happened to me is God showed me something in a dream. And in that dream, my ex was having an argument with the moon about me. He was arguing with the moon back and forth in my dream. No, she's mine. No, she's mine. And it was like I could literally hear a voice. I saw the moon and I saw the back of my ex, and I heard two different voices. Probably the voice of God saying, no, she's mine. Or it could have been the angel, Sariel. And I'm going to tell you why. Because also in that dream, when he's arguing with the moon back and forth, no, she's mine, no, she's mine, no, she's mine, no, she's mine. Like, they were legit arguing, like, back and forth. And I was balled up in a corner, terrified, out of my mind, crying, in fetal position, like a child. And I seen a flash of an iridescent figure. It was like I could see through them, but the lining of them was like red, pinkish glow, right? It looked over at me, grabbed me, shot me up to the moon. And I, like, as I'm waking up, I felt this rushing feeling, like, and I was like, saw myself go towards the moon in the arms of this angel, though. I wanted to tell you guys that story because it was a real dream that I had. And at the time, I was not enlightened and I was not aware of what was taking place. But again, at that time, my brother had just passed away. I had this dream literally the night before I was having a memorial remembrance for him. My mother was very objective to holding a funeral, but for me, I was not going to allow my brother to leave this earth without him being remembered. So, as the oldest of 5 children, I did what I felt was right. I felt it was right to honor him in the best way that I knew possible. So, I rented a space at a park, and I had a purple carpet laid down for him, for me, a representation of royalty. And I had on this purple and gold dress, and I had my hair in this really high ponytail. And I probably looked like a goddess. That was the way that I wanted to look. Because for me, I know that there's royalty in my blood, so I sent him off in a very royal manner. I laid out the purple carpet for him. I ordered 100 balloons, 50 purple, 50 gold. I had these gold antique looking picture frames laid on every table, and on the tables it was photographs of him in them with different family members to honor him and remember him. I had people, the family, who wanted to come forward. It was a choice. It was nothing pressured, but to grab a balloon and to say something that you remember about him great, and walk down that purple carpet and release the balloon into the sky in remembrance of him. But before everybody started to come, I again had that dream the night before. So my ex's mother was there. She was helping me set up before everyone arrived. And I ended up explaining to her this dream that I had. And when I began to tell her that I saw her son looking up at the moon and arguing with the moon back and forth, she looked at me in shock and in awe. Me, I was totally oblivious to what was going on and what was taking place. But she knew very well what had taken place and what was going on. I didn't. So I'm just being myself, me who I am. And I'm keeping this positive mindset because I'm like, it really scared me, because it did. And I was like, oh, I didn't know whether to think I was about to die or something or what. It was very scary to me because it was the first time I feel like I had an encounter, a very close encounter like that, with an angel who actually held me in their arms. And it was like, shot me up to the moon in safety. Like, seriously, like straight up. Like, I can remember it so vividly. Like, I wish if I could turn this into a movie, like it would be down packed to the T the way that this looked to me in my dream. Like, I can still picture it in my head the way that I dreamt it. So it's something that I'll never forget. But I'm saying this to make you very aware of things that are hidden and that you may be unaware of. So when we go to church and stuff, and they're like so opposed to the moon and the cycles of the moon and the stars, I see both sides. Normally, when people are, doing rituals and incantations on the moon, they're for dark things. But there's light and dark in anything, as I've already stated. So you have to be very knowledgeable and enlightened about what is going on here so that you know how to protect yourself. And because it is a full moon tomorrow, I thought that this would be a perfect time to do a video like this for people who actually don't know things about the moon and the moon cycles. I want to help you protect yourself. I want to help you know who to call on and how to pray during these times, because you never know who's dibbling and dabbling in something that is lower vibrational. And if you do not know who to call on to help you, then, ultimately you become a victim of something you have no knowledge of, and you're just thinking that you're having a bad luck streak in life, or you're just going through a phase, and really somebody has sent something to you that you were highly unaware of. So the Dead Sea Scrolls is actually an amazing educator about, like, the Book of Enoch and lost and hidden knowledge, but it's also very hard for you to get a hold of. So I wanted to reference a read that is easily accessible for you to pick up so that you can understand certain things about, the moon in these times and the battle between light and dark. So that book would be called War of Sins of Light Against the Sons of Darkness. And I want you guys to know that the angel serial is listed in the Dead Sea Scrolls, right along next to the names of Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Raphael. He is listed there, he or she, because to my knowledge and to my understanding, there are very few angels that have gender attached to them. Like, I know, like, Sandalphon, Archangel Sandalphon is actually a male angel. I know that for a fact through my research. Archangel Michael is a male angel. Those are the only two that I'm aware of at this time that actually have a gender specific to them as far as males are concerned. I don't want to get too far off track, especially because I'm offering an angel class on May the 2nd. You can check that out on my community board on how to book that course. So I don't want to get too deep with, the certain angels, because I am going to offer a class for that. And it's not for the knowledge, because the knowledge is free, but because of the time, I do have to put a price tag on it because of my time. So I hope that you respect my time. And I feel like when people have to pay for something, it means that much more to them. They are more susceptible to retaining the information, and they have a real desire to learn and retain the knowledge that they are being given. So again, you can check that on my community board. That'll be May the 2nd, but definitely check out the flyer. You can find more information about that there. Now, I want you to be mindful that once again, there is light and dark in everything. And, God has a light and a dark side too. So he calls on who he wants when he wants, according to how he needs them. And he's not always pleased. In the book of Revelation, he references so many times about what he hates. He hates this, he hates that. He's angry there. He's angry. So understand that God is not always love and light. He gets highly upset. You can tick him off to the fullest extent. So you hear, people say all the time to fear the wrath of God. And I want to point out that you have your atheists, or you have your people who say that they don't believe in God, but yet they dibble and dabble in low vibrational practices and invoke evil spirits and deities, but they don't believe in God. That's confusing to me. If you believe in evil, then you definitely should believe that there is something that is good. You can't just send out and push out malicious and evil things and conjure up these evil things and think that there's not something of a light force that can come crushing you. Because again, we are in the days where the fight against light and evil is real heavy right now. It's real deep. It is really, really deep. So I encourage you to kind of, get up on your protection, especially because we are in a full moon cycle, and to just be knowledgeable about what is going on and learn how to not just reference one thing or just listen to Christianity teachings, because there are various different cultures around the world who do not practice Christianity, but they still believe in God. They just have other forms of religion, which would bring me to my next point, which would be of the lunar calendar, which is actually dated back to 8000 BC. The religions such as Hindu, Hebrew, Chinese, Korean, Thai, Vietnamese, just to name a few. These are cultures and religions that actually still function off of the lunar moon cycle, and they operate in those moon cycles, in those countries and in those cultures, which was also very ironic to me, because in the book of Revelation as well, it references the 7 churches which are located in Asia. So the fact that we're talking about, the Korean and the Chinese and the Vietnamese and stuff like that, who are in Thai, these are of the Asian culture. So I found that very interesting that these cultures operate very strongly around the linear moon cycles. And if you're a person that is into history real big, then this would also be something that was implemented and practiced really big in the Roman culture around the time of Julius Caesar. So the moon is a keeper of time and also determines the cycles of life. So we just recently had the solar eclipse. Now, if you're anything like me, there was a huge energy shift, and I still feel it strongly. It was a really big shift, and weird things have happened, because for starters, I was fighting some really heavy spiritual warfare, but then God kept sending me these messages and these downloads and letting me know that there was going to be some highly unusual, unexplainable things that were happening around the world, or just even crazy things, like the man set himself on fire for the Trump trials. That was a crazy thing, right? So yeah, just be very mindful of the cycles of the moon, and how it's highly practiced in other cultures and in other religions. The moon is used for rituals during certain moon phases. So the most common rituals or spells will be love spells, chaos, confusion, and manipulation spells, to extract the magical power and juices of the moon, and also to invoke spirits or deities. Now, those are just a few. Those are the most common ones. But again, I am just here to give you something very subtle and educational, maybe something that you never even thought about, that you've never even heard about. But I just want to kind of give you something that is thought provoking. So it helps you to see things from a different perspective and a different light. I'm not imposing anything on anyone. I'm just here to give you some knowledge and share with you things that you can actually go and read and find and research on your own. Watching and listen to this video, don't take my word for face value. Go do your homework to know that what I'm saying can actually be looked up, and you can say, okay, yeah, she's on to something. It's a part of history. It's a part of the world. It is a part of the day and the time that we live in. No matter how much people want to hide certain things, you see, the moon is always about things that are hidden. So be very mindful of things that are hidden and why they are hidden. So it's also highly practiced in Greek, Latin, Persia, Arabic, Hebrew, and Proto-Indo-European. And Proto-Indo-Europe. Christians associate the moon again with magic and demons and astrology, right? In early modern Europe, there were claims that the Roman Catholic Church actually practiced moon rituals behind closed doors. Also, the ancient Mesopotamians believed that the only way to defend themselves against demons, ghosts, magic, sorcery, and witches was to do magic. So understand again that there is white magic, there's gray magic, there's black magic. Now, people say that they don't believe in magic, but it's a real thing. It is noted in history. It was banished and stricken, the same with witches and warlocks, right? But again, for me, I think you have to look beyond the veil. You have to go beyond the moon and understand what is hidden. Why don't they want you to know this information, and for what reason? Why do they want to keep certain things hidden? Because when you think about the Catholic churches and you look up the Catholics, or a lot of the priests, the majority of these priests have had claims and allegations of child molestation, and predominantly with boys. And through my research, they do these things under these moon cycles. So not only are they doing things that are unethical, unlawful, degrading, violating children and things of that nature, they're also doing rituals so that they do certain things like, sim manipulation or confusion magic to people, so like they don't understand, or they do it on the children that they're performing these acts on, so that they remain quiet for so long, right? Because they're innocent. They don't know how to protect themselves, and their parents have not taught them certain things so that they're able to protect themselves against dark magic. And then again, you get into these churches and stuff like that, and because it is done to you by a pastor or a priest or whatever, it's like you're scared because you think like no one's ever going to believe you, or the child may even think that it's something that is okay because it is done by someone like a priest or a pastor. So just be very mindful of real things that take place behind that moon, on these moon cycles, right? And always know that you can call on Archangel Cyril to help protect you. you know, a lot of people just mention like, oh, Archangel Michael here to protect me. No, there are other angels too. So, and understand that Archangel Michael is a protection angel, but Archangel Sariel is the angel who is ruling over the spirits who sin in the spirit. So meaning that if someone is conjured up or evoked a deity or an evil spirit against you, then that's going to be the angel that you need. You can still call on Archangel Michael. You know, it's always call on the army, call on all of them. But I think it is very important for you to know exactly which ones hold certain rankings and what they are appointed over, how they operate, what they do, what they are, you know, utilized for, so that you can protect yourself. So on these full moons, be sure to call on Archangel Sariel to protect you against any and all things that someone may be sending your way. Because I'm telling you, this battle between light and darkness is real. And there is no shade at all on churches, because I love going to church. But what I'm saying is this. Again, there is light and dark in everything. So you have to be very mindful, because you are never aware of what is going on behind the scenes. So I'm just a messenger. I hope you received the message, and I hope you are able to do your own research. And again, I don't want anyone to take what I'm saying for face value. I want you to do your own homework so that you know it is documented, it is real, and you need to protect yourself. Somebody will save you. What I do know about, you know, God and the angels, just like in my dream, I had no idea about the moon phases, moon magic, love spells. I was never even thinking about anything like that, but those are real things that people actually do. So that angel came and grabbed me up. Like, hey, she doesn't know better. She doesn't know what's going on, and I'm here to protect her. So again, if you don't know, that is one thing. But when you are made aware, you need to apply the knowledge that is being given to you. Also, something that stands out to me in the book of Revelation. Hold on, because I don't want to quote nothing wrong. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. He doesn't say, and that is mentioned several times, but never once does he say to be mindful of who it's coming from. He says, he that have an ear, let him hear what is being said unto the churches. So don't get so caught up on the messenger. Just take heed to the message. So I hope this has been very enlightening for you. I actually enjoy so much sharing the knowledge, and also diving deeper into what it is that I already know, so that I'm better able to explain it to you. I am in the beginning stages of giving out this information and doing my videos, but as time goes by, I will get a lot more comfortable and be better with my delivery. So if you've been rocking with me since day one, I appreciate you continuously coming back, and know that I have your best interest in mind and at heart. And as the Lord speaks to me, I will definitely speak to you. So this has been Beautifying from the Inside Out with Lanetta Shea. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please subscribe so that I'm able to go live for you guys at 50 subscribers. But yes, I definitely enjoy giving this information. It brings joy to my heart to help others, to teach others. So I do this from the heart, and I do this as God leads me. So when I do come on here and I offer certain things, it is because I just follow what it is He tells me to do. Sometimes I don't understand and I don't know why. But then once I start diving into how I'm going to say what I'm trying to say, it always dawns on me like, oh, that's why. So this one was because, you know, he wanted me to talk about the angel of the constellation because of the moon, and also give you an opportunity to understand the difference between the light and the dark. There's light and dark in everything, and since we are in a battle between light and darkness, you need to know what can be conjured up, but you also need to understand how to protect yourself. So I hope you have been enlightened. Again, this has been Beautifying from the Inside Out with Lanetta Shea, and as always, be blessed. See you guys next time.